Okay, this demo is going to show you how to set up your Mac so that you can use all the functions, how to set up your dock, which is this part down below, in addition to a number of other things. So the first thing we're going to do is just make sure that when you click on your desktop background here, you'll notice that it'll pull up your Finder, which is going to be used for a number of things. You can see my desktop obviously is a little bit cluttered, but yours brand new should look pretty good. You may or may not have your Macintosh hard drive, and you can see that mine is up here, visible when you first log in, but if not, I'm going to show you how to set that up. So the first thing we're going to do is actually click on our desktop, go to Finder, and we're going to go to our Preferences. In our Preferences, you can see there's a bunch of tabs up top. So we have General, Label, Cyber, Advanced. You can mess around with those, but the General one is the first thing we just want to set up, and that is our hard disks, our externals, CDs, and connected servers are all going to be visible, which if I turn all these off, you can see my hard drive just disappeared, external just disappeared, okay, and I'm not sure that we have any externals connected or connected servers right now, so it just depends on if you are connected. So once that's set up, you should be able to access your hard drive, and the reason I want you to be able to access your hard drive is, so if you double click on it, it will open up and you'll be able to access your applications. Also on the left side here, just a number of things, your documents, desktop, and devices, any number of things. Opening up applications, you can see just the number of programs that we have here, all the way from Photoshop, which we'll be using shortly, to iMovie, iWeb, Safari. So there's tons of different options to mess around with there. Other things that you're going to be using right away, just another way to access your desktop. You can see here's my desktop, just with any files that I have. Also, you can save stuff to your documents. You may or may not have like a little house over here, which would be your home folder. So if you can't find something, for instance, say I wanted to find my Britney Spears TIFF over here, I'm going to type in just what I'm looking for, and there we go. I have a couple different options to find it. And generally it'll say, okay, so here we're searching this Mac, or you can search in Documents, and that's just one way to kind of look through it. So I'm just going to exit out of that real quick, and we may go over a few more things under that option. The next thing I wanted to go over is just how to do some different things with your computer. So up at the top left are some different options. So we have, you can put your computer to sleep. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Pretty much every period you're going to restart your computer. But so this would be the main option we're going to use here, in addition to just shutting down if you're one of the last periods in the classroom or for some reason we need you to shut the computers down. Going a little bit further though, sorry, my mouse is not cooperating. You can also mess with your dock, which is that option you have down below. I'm going to zoom out here. This is your dock, so you can change some of those settings up there as well if you go to that option. So dock, position on left if you want it over here. That's really up to you. I just like it to have all my programs down at the bottom. So. And let's see, you can also log out as well here. So just some of the basics as far as those two setups. If you want to create new folders, you can go up here. You can see I have plenty of folders up there. Another thing that you'd be able to do is if you just go to your desktop and you right-click, if your right-click set up, or control-click, and that's your option button basically for right and left click, and that will allow you to create a new folder. You could also do some things like clean up your desktop. So if I want to go clean up my name, and now it's just organized my entire desktop for me. So a couple things you can play around with. Next up, we're going to set up our mouse, and we're going to go down to our system preferences. So it's down at the bottom in our dock, and it looks like a couple gears. So click on that. That should open automatically. Okay. You can see there's a bunch of different settings here as well, all the way from your sound. And anytime I click on something, I'm just going to go back and I can access, different things here. You should have a Wacom tablet under Other. If you don't, please let your teacher know. I wanted to talk about was how to set up your mouse. So if you click on mouse, yours is going to be looking a little bit different than mine. Your primary mouse button should be set to your left click. You have the option on yours to set your right click as the secondary. Those should have drop down, so it'll look a little bit different than this. Mine is like this because I have left and right mouse click built into this mouse that I'm using. Up here on the left side, though, you'll have your tracking speed adjustment, which if you bring it down to slow, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get across the screen. I usually go about 3/4. Double click speed, I would leave it up in the 3/4 range. For your scrolling speed, it's really up to you. This is about scrolling through websites if you have the scroll wheel in the middle of your mouse. And you probably will not have your zoom using scroll function be able to be allowed, but you could set it to scroll if it works. But in terms of the actual zoom, it won't function because we are not using the Maverick operating system. Some other things that you may want to set up here would be your displays. I really wouldn't mess with this. Right now mine's set to 1440 by 900. Whatever the general setting is, I would just leave it, to be honest with you. You can, if you want to mess with your brightness. There should also be keys on your keyboard that can do that as well. A couple other things here would be your keyboard. You can set up keyboard shortcuts here. These should be unique to your login. So if you do it, it's not going to affect another person. So if you guys want to mess around with that as well. And let's see. I think that's pretty much it here that we want to talk about. You can mess around with your desktop here as well, and you see the dock settings here as well. So a couple places that you can find different options to kind of play around with and set how you want yours to be. So I'm going to exit out of that. Next thing we're going to do is now, depending on what your dock has, you can see all my programs are down here. If, for instance, I'm going to take out one just so we can add one. So I'm going to right-click and remove from dock. So if I want to open up Safari, a program maybe that isn't down on my dock, that's the best way to get to the internet. I'm going to probably go to Macintosh hard drive and go to my applications. And if I know the name of the program, then I'm going to go, it's down in alphabetical order. Here's Safari. Another way to do that without going to your Macintosh hard drive would be just look up top right to your spotlight and type in Safari. It'll pop up. There's your top hit. Okay, and now the program's opening up. Okay, so the program's open, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure that this now stays in my dock. So what I'm going to do is right-click it. I'm going to go up to Options, and I'm going to say Keep in Dock. All right, you have some other options like Open at Login. I would suggest not doing that because if there is a problem with the particular program at the time, it'll continue to open up. And there is a way to get out of it, but I would recommend that you say just keep it in dock. Okay, I recommend never having anything open at login. Okay, so I'm gonna hit keep in dock. And another thing, say a program's misbehaving, you're not able to quit it. You can see down here that these programs have these little lights underneath them. That means that they're active, that they're on. Say I wanted to quit out of Safari. A couple ways you can do that is you can right-click it, and I can hit quit. And if that happens, then it's just going to turn off like the little light there. But with like Photoshop here, say it was totally frozen and I couldn't do anything with it, what I could also do is go up top left here and go to Force Quit. And Force Quit then is going to bring up just a dialog box here, and I'm going to be able to choose what program I want to quit out of. So I'm going to say Photoshop and say Force Quit. So those are some of the basics. If you need to watch this demo again, just go ahead back through. And that's it.